Fiat 124 Spider is the product of an alliance with Mazda, and it's based on the same compact, lightweight, rear-wheel drive platform that makes the MX-5 sports car so much fun. However, the 124 Spider doesn't share a single body panel with the Mazda, giving it a unique look. It uses an Italian-built 4-cylinder turbo engine. The MX-5 is offered with two non-turbo 4-cylinder engines, a 1.5 and 2.0-liter, and rides on suspension with unique Fiat settings, all in an attempt to differentiate the two cars. Costing a touch more than the entry-level Mazda, the 124 Spider range has 3 trim levels, from No Frills Classica through Lusso, 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system as standard, 17-inch wheels, heated seats, parking sensors, silver body trim, chromed exhaust tips, to top-spec Lusso Plus with adaptive LED headlights and a Bose sound system. Unlike on the Mazda, you can't specify a limited slip differential. You'd expect the 124 Spider to drive like an MX-5 and, in very general terms, it does. It shares with the Mazda an all-pervading and very likable sense of lightness. At 1,060 kilograms, the Fiat is a third less heavy than something like a BMW 2 Series convertible, and you can feel that in the way it effortlessly changes direction and accelerates, despite the relatively modest power output. Ride and handling: the steering is light but direct and nicely communicative, relaying plenty of information about just how much grip the front tires have in reserve as you enter a corner. Similarly, the suspension strikes a satisfying balance between corseting compliance and confidence-boosting body control. The little Fiat rides rough roads effortlessly, and while there's a little body roll initially, this is kept in check nicely and with a little more conviction than the Mazda on its standard settings. A firmer, sporty suspension pack can be fitted to 2.0-liter MX-5s. It's a well-judged balance, proving equally adept on rough urban routes and smooth back roads, yet still leaves plenty of wiggle room for the more performance-oriented Abarth 124 Spider. The 1.4-liter Fiat engine works brilliantly in the featherweight 124. Where the Mazda engines are light on torque but exciting in the breathless way in which they spin to their rudder lines, the Fiat delivers a broad and very linear spread of muscle from 2,500 revolutions per minute to 6,500 revolutions per minute. There's very little lag, response is good for a turbocharged engine, and, while 140 bhp and 214 Nm of torque aren't blistering, when you factor in the car's lack of mass, there's enough performance here to keep you and the keen chassis interested. It's a smooth, potentially very economical and impressively refined motor too, with only the faintest of whistling to betray the turbocharger's presence. Interior quality: inside, little effort's been wasted trying to disguise the cabin's Mazda architecture. It's classic two-seat roadster stuff, with a pair of low-set but pretty comfortable seats, a high but nicely cozy transmission tunnel and clear, logical instruments. The 124 Spider enjoys a finer grade of materials than you'll find in the MX-5, and the optional infotainment system is common to both cars and works well, easy to use, clear and fuss-free. The only gripes are a general lack of space, drivers more than 6 feet tall may struggle, and the fact that the steering wheel lacks reach adjustment. The folding soft top roof is identical to the MX-5's and a brilliant design, light, compact and so easy to use you can go from roof up to open top in about 3 seconds. There's no mechanism doing the work for you, but the system's so well designed there's simply no need. The 124 Spider is an attractive, keenly priced and very enjoyable roadster that successfully updates the timeless appeal of a lightweight, 2-seat sports car for the 21st century. The Fiat's design is yours to judge, but there's no doubt its handling and ride are every bit as good as the Mazda's, possibly a little better, and while its engine is no rev-hungry firecracker, its relatively torque-rich power delivery makes for effortless performance when you're cruising and an engaging turn of speed when you're in a hurry. If you're looking at either car, you'd be wise to test drive the other before buying. Read the full Fiat 124 Spider review to find out why this new roadster deserves your attention. One engine only, 1.4-liter petrol turbocharged character. There's only one choice of engine in the standard car, unlike the Mazda MX-5, which offers 1.5 and 2.0-liter units. Buy a Fiat 124 Spider and it'll be powered by a 1.4-liter turbocharged petrol engine, so that's an easy decision. This is perhaps the biggest difference between the Italian car and the Mazda it's based on. While the MX-5's power plants thrive on revs to deliver their power, the Fiat delivers its performance with readily available turbocharged ease. That's because the motor is boosted by a turbo, delivering 140 horsepower and 240 Newton-meters of torque, the latter from a relatively low 2,500 revolutions per minute. The power doesn't run out until 6,500 revolutions per minute either, so there's plenty of reason to run the Fiat up to its limiter, accompanied by a raspy, metallic exhaust note. Stick through the fabulous 6-speed manual gearbox quick enough, and 0 to 62 miles per hour will tumble in 7.5 seconds, which is comparable to the 2.0-liter MX-5, while top speed stretches to 134 miles per hour with a smaller engine and turbo. You also get respectable economy figures, with the Fiat's fuel consumption and CO2 figures coming in between the Mazda's two power plants. The more performance-oriented Abarth 124 is powered by the same 1.4-liter engine but comes with more power. With 170 horsepower and 250 Newton-meters, the dash from 0 to 62 miles per hour drops to 6.8 seconds and pushes onto a higher top speed of 143 miles per hour. Unlike the Fiat, the Abarth is also the only one available with an automatic gearbox. Softer ride than MX-5, better for relaxed jaunts, still a great steer. The 124's suspension has been retuned and feels a bit more compliant here than in the MX-5. It's far from being overly soft though, capable of slicing through a series of bends with the same confidence as the Japanese car. We reckon it's marginally less precise and therefore the second choice of the two for attacking your favorite B-road. Dial your right foot back a bit and there's still a lot of fun to be had, it's just better suited to a slightly more relaxed approach. As with the Mazda, you can expect wonderfully light but accurate steering, which gives you loads of information about the grip levels of the front tires. Lots carried over from MX-5 nicer materials used, though taller drivers may struggle. If you've driven a Mazda MX-5, then there's little you won't recognize in the Fiat. There is a pair of low-slung, supportive yet comfortable seats, a solidly built dashboard and clear, easy-to-read dials. The driving position is great unless you're tall, because the seat doesn't go back very far and the steering wheel adjusts for height but not reach. What differentiates the Fiat from the Mazda is a finer grade of materials, with softer touch plastics on the dashboard and doors. You also get a leather knob and wheel as standard. The media system is straight out of the MX-5, which is a good thing, because it's one of the best on the market thanks to its clear display and easy-to-use control wheel. More compliant ride than MX-5, great seats, especially in leather. Taller occupants may struggle. Ride comfort is spot on in the Fiat 124 Spider if you want your roadster to have a more relaxed, continent crossing feel. It's supple and compliant, soaking up bumps well and isolating them from the cabin. Refinement with the roof up or down is impressive, although taller occupants will have their hair rearranged by wind spilling over the low screen. High trims come with soft leather that can be picked in a retro tobacco brown color, which both looks and feels very nice indeed. The seats themselves are a good shape too, incorporating a stereo speaker in more expensive grades, and offering a good level of support. Regardless of trim, you get a lot of kit in a Fiat 124, including air conditioning, a leather steering wheel and knob, cruise control, alloy wheels, Bluetooth connectivity and keyless start. Standard Fiat 124 Spider equipment: 3 trim levels in the UK: Classica, Lusso and Lusso Plus. All cars get aircon and alloys. Entry-level cars get the standard spec above plus 4 airbags, 16-inch alloy wheels, and an infotainment system with USB, O and Bluetooth connectivity. Middle-of-the-road Lusso gets a 7-inch media system with sat-nav, rear parking camera, 17-inch alloy wheels, heated leather upholstery, automatic climate control, front fog lamps, keyless entry, chrome exhaust tips and a premium silver finish on the windscreen frame and rollover bars. Top-of-the-range Lusso Plus adds adaptive LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, automatic lights and wipers, and a 9-speaker Bose sound system. Optional Fiat 124 Spider accessories: there are very few options for the Fiat 124, although you can add some items to the Classico model, including the 7-inch touchscreen media system with DAB digital radio, Wi-Fi, 2 USB ports and a multimedia control knob. While the Fiat 124 Spider hasn't been crash tested by Euro NCAP, the Mazda MX-5 on which it is based scored 4 stars. This doesn't sound overwhelming, but it was the best roadster tested in 2015. You get lots of active and passive tech, including a voice-controlled entertainment system, LED rear lights, 4 airbags, a speed limiter, and escape with ABS and EBD, all as standard. If you want bags of interior space and boot capacity, then you may be disappointed by the Fiat 124 Spider, but by sports car standards it's actually pretty good. There's a 140-litre boot which is big enough for a couple of weekend bags. Taller occupants may struggle, the driver will find it hard to get comfortable, and the passenger might find the top of their head in the airstream whistling across the top of the car.